Well, well, well. Good evening. I hope you can hear me. This okay. Here we go. The time is 4 o'clock. We are very sorry for the delay, but be as it may, we have to make the best out of what we have. And so tonight we want to welcome you to the Members of Goyah studio, where we promise you today that we were going to be discussing some very important issue, something that I believe that my short visit to Liberia, something that was brought to my attention by so many people. And I felt the need that part of the reason why this show was created is to educate, throw light, and discuss meaningful issues concerning our country. And so tonight we want to take this time to say happy birthdays to all those who are celebrating their birthdays in the month of April. We pray that God will bless you with long life, good health, peace, and prosperity. If you are celebrating your birthday on today and you fall on your wedding anniversary, we say double shout out to you and your special one. We pray that God Almighty will bless you, God Almighty will console you. If you are celebrating your birthday today and fall on your I'm sorry for that mistake. I get distracted. I got distracted. If you are celebrating your birthday and you fall on your wedding anniversary, we want to say happy wedding anniversary. Happy birthday. Double shout out to you and your special loved one. We pray that God will bless us with a matrimony with love, peace, longevity, and what have you. If you are celebrating, if you are bereaved, we also want to take this time to say our deepest condolences to you and your entire family. We pray that God will comfort you, God will console you, God will bless you with strength. And we can only pray along with you. And we hope that God will strengthen you and your family. We also want to take this time now, as you can see the headline, do we have a labor law in Liberia? Do we truly have a labor law in Liberia? Because, and that's a question today that, like I said last week, we were going to dive into that to truly discuss. And why we choose this topic, because this is something that when I went to Liberia, it was heavily on the list. People believe that the way they are treated, and so as you all know, part of this show And the reason why we established the show, because we are the voice of the people of Liberia. And therefore, anything that we believe that need to be discussed, we will make sure to discuss it, because it is important, very important, that we advocate. And so to today's show, we will be diving deep into what we see as the disparity in the labor law in Liberia. And so I want you to bear me for a minute as I send out invitation and what have you. And as you can see the link over there, do not hesitate to click on it, and we can always bring you into the studio to actually give your input. Once again, this show is where we come to actually discuss, analyze, dialogue, and see how we can move our country forward. And so I want you to bear with me as I send us the link to a couple of people that normally support this show. People that normally tune in and support the show. So we want to make sure that we keep them up to date. And so I will urge you to bear with me just for a minute. I'm not going to take too much of your time. Okay. All right. Now, tonight we promised that tonight's show was going to be a very important topic, because this is something that we believe that needs serious attention. And so we promised that we were going to discuss what is unfolding in Liberia. And we all talk about change, we all want change. People were excited based on the fact that they believed that the past administration did not deliver the promises that were made to them. And so we have been on the air now for some time, and we all believe, we're not just saying that those are facts, that if Liberia will get better, then I think it is important that each and every one of us to get involved. And whatever means you have to reach your own people or your friends, we urge you to do that. And so today, as we said on Monday, that we are going to dive in heavily today into the labor practices. And so that we're going to be asking some questions at the same time educating people. We want to know the rules of the labor ministry. Is that ministry functioning like the way it's supposed to function? Because there's just too much disparity there. They disregard to labor practices, how people are being treated in Liberia, including when company come, do people actually benefit from that? And so before we go further, I wanted to play something that I believe will lay or set the pace for our discussion. And we say this all the time, not because we want to promote one political party agenda, but because we believe that for too long now we have been sitting on the fence and we expect other people to do the work for us. If you can remember, we told you that last week or the gone Monday, we told we are sick and tired of people making comparison because that's all we can do in Liberia. We'd rather talk about Ghana, Nigeria, Africa Coast, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and all we do, we buy them off the country, forgetting to know that Liberia will not get better if we do not play our part. And I think this is something that we saw in Liberia, even people that we met there, a mindset as it relates to Liberia. It's like we do not believe any good thing can come from out of the country based on the fact that the country is being mismanaged. And my pushback to people, places that I went was, no, you can't say that. Because if Liberia will get better, it will take each and every one of us effort. Each and every one of us effort to make our country better. And we have to get away from the mindset of putting our country down. This is something that I see we do all the time. We do all the time. We have to start speaking positivity to our country, and we have to exemplify that by contributing. Liberia, no, I keep saying this. If we're thinking that Liberia, for whatever reason, we believe that that country will get better because I don't know, we expect to make it better, or we believe that maybe we got alien that will come from somewhere to do what we need to do. My people, we are making mistake. And so today, we wanted to introduce you, if you haven't heard, most of you, but I think if you live in this country and if you also have this country and you've been reading and you've been fighting, I don't want to take you way back, but I want to remind you and bring you just of more recent. The speech by the late Johnny Lewis prior to his demise. And so we say we were going to dive into that heavily, and to just remind us the letter that he wrote when you are diagnosed and on his dying bed. And there's no better time to really look at where Johnny Lewis wrote. I believe this is one of the best times that we actually need to look into this, analyze what he wrote, and then we will dive into what we're about to discuss. Because Johnny Lewis wrote something very powerful. Like I said, he wrote a letter before he died. Yes. And so we are hoping, and we will take our time to read it. And so it is our prayer that you will get to read it along with us, because I think it's very refreshing every time that I come across it and I read it. For those of you who don't know, the late Johnny Lewis sermon If you heard the term in America called Bloody Sunday, Alabama, when you talk about some Alabama Bloody Sunday, Emma Petty Bridge. And so these are people that are the age of 15. And what we are doing, what I am doing, that's how Johnny Lewis actually came to reality when you heard the late Dr. Martin voice over the radio talking about you have to get involved and make a difference. And as a young boy who was scrambling at the time the civil rights movement was going on, too many things were happening around him. And the faithful day. And that's why we don't take what we do here lightly, because we never know. Every time I get on the air, I feel that I don't want to say I feel. I believe I am planting seeds. And so maybe we'll fall down on some rocky ground, but most of it will fall down on some fertile soil. We believe that when that seed when it starts to take root and try to germinate, I believe maybe one day, people will make reference to what we've been saying. And so we want to share with you what the late Johnny Lewis wrote, because I thought it wise that we share this so you can read along with me to see, because too many times we believe that either we're too busy or we're too good to get involved, or we don't have the time to, because nothing will never happen, nothing will never change. And this is where I want to take us so we can see for ourselves. And you can listen to the late Congressman Johnny Lewis' letter prior to his demise. Like I said, it's very refreshing. It's something that I don't know why I'm not getting on the screen, but my people, I need you to read this along with me. I'm telling you. Try to get it on the screen. I can see it there. But this is what it reads. He said, "Why my time here has not come to an end, I want you to know that in the last days and hours of my life, you inspire me. You fill me with hope about the next chapter of the great American story when you use your power to make a difference in our society. Millions of people, motivated simply by humor, compassion, lay down the burdens of division. Around the country and the world, you set aside race, class, age, language, and nationality to demand respect for human dignity. This is why I had to visit Black Lives Matter Plaza in Washington. Though I was admitted to the hospital the following day, I just had to see and feel it for myself that after many years of silent witness, the truth is still marching on. Emmett Till was George Floyd, U.S.man Rashad Brooks, Sandra Bland, and Breonna Taylor. He was 14 when he was killed, and I was only 15 years old at the time. I will never ever forget the moment when it became so clear that he could easily have been me. In those days, fear constrained us. like an imaginary prison and troubling thought of potential brutality committed for no understandable reason were the bar. Though I was surrounded by two loving parents, plenty of brothers and sisters and cousins, their love could not protect me from the unholy oppression within just outside their family cycle. Unchecked, unrestrained, violence, and government sanctioned terror had the power to turn a simple stroll to the stool for some skittle or an innocent morning jog down a lonesome country road into a nightmare. If we are to survive as one unified nation, we must discover what so really take root in our hearts that could rob Mother Emmanuel Church in South Carolina of her brightest and best shot on wanting concert goer in Las Vegas and choked to death. The hope and dream of a gift like Elijah McClain. Like so many young people today, I was searching for a way out. I want you to listen to this very carefully. Like so many young people today, I was searching for a way out, or some might say a way in. And then I heard the voice. I heard the voice of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on an old radio. He was talking about the philosophy and discipline of nonviolence. He said, we are all complacent when we tolerate injustice. Listen to that. We are all complacent when we tolerate injustice. And that is what happened in Liberia as it relates to the labor practices in Liberia. He said it is not enough to say it will get better by and by. It's not going to get better if you just stand by and stand by and stand by. That is what happened in Liberia. He said each of us have a moral. That's what I'm telling you now. Each and every one of us have a moral obligation to stand up, speak up, and speak out. When you see something that is not right, you must say something. You must do something. Democracy is not a state, it is an act. And each generation must do a part to help build what we call the beloved community, a nation and whole society at peace with itself. This is where I want us to pay attention. He said each of us have a moral obligation to stand up, speak out. And when you see something that is not right, you must say something. You must do something. Democracy is not a state. It is an act. And each generation, our generation, must do a part to help build what we call beloved community, what we call beloved Liberia, a nation, a world society at peace with itself. Ordinary people, ordinary people, ordinary. He say extraordinary. Didn't say rich people. He say poor people. He say ordinary people with extraordinary vision can redeem the soul of America by getting in what I call good trouble. My people, I need you to share this video. It is imperative that you listen to this. Necessary trouble. Voting and participating in the democratic process are key. The vote is the most powerful nonviolent change agent you have in a democratic society. You must use it because it is not guaranteed. You can lose it. Johnny Lewis speaking. He went on to say, you must also study and learn the lessons of history because humanity has been involved in this soul-wrenching external struggle for a very long time. People on every continent, he did not say people only in America. He did not say that. He said people on every continent have stood in your shoes through decades and centuries before you. The truth does not change. And that is why the answer worked out long ago can help you find solutions to the challenges of our time. Continue to build union between movements, stretch across the globe, because we must put away our willingness to profit from the exploitation of order. Though I may not be with you, I urge you to answer the highest calling of your heart and stand up for what you truly believe. In my life, I have done all I can to demonstrate that the way of peace, the way of love, and non-violence is the most excellent way. Now it is your turn to let freedom reign. When historians pick up their pens to write the history of the 21st century, let us say that it was your generation who laid down the heavy burdens of hate, and that peace finally transferring over violence, aggression, and war. So I say to you, walk with the wind, brother and sister, and let the spirit of peace and the power of everlasting love be your God. This is Johnny Lewis talking. And I thought to share that with us because we can go back and forth and highlight some important thoughts. Now, I told you people when I went to Liberia for a brief time, I didn't go there because I wanted to party. Yes, I wanted to see family and friends because I missed the country. But I went for purpose to actually see for myself and feel and talk to people. I didn't want to use the C or ESC or ESC. And so we took on the journey. The journey was very it was expensive, but it was our time. And so we got there, and there was look, Liberia right now, there are just too many things that need to be done. And so when we got to that place, we said to ourselves, we have to talk to people from all walks of life because we wanted to know. And one of the most pressing issues that I saw and spoke to people is the labor practice in Liberia. And we have a labor ministry. And so we say we wanted to go back, do some research, and see what is happening to the labor ministry. It is one of the most powerful ministry in the country, but at the city is one of the most dead ministry. Dead. And if somebody can prove me wrong, I'm waiting for you to take on me on this issue. It's the most powerful ministry. I'm telling you, the most powerful ministry, but it's so ineffective that people don't even know if labor ministry exists. Why? Because people who are served those positions have done nothing. Have done nothing to actually address what is unfolding in our nation. And it's one of the ministries that is causing the suffering of our people. One of the ministries that causes a lot of suffering. What do I say that? I will prove it to you But let me just give you a little bit history and the reason why this ministry was created. The Ministry of Labor, which was established in 1981, has a statutory mandate to regulate the labor sector of Liberia through the development and implementation of policy that will help, not only help, that will propel how employees are treated by employers. And so since the creation of the ministry, things have not changed, especially in government sector, in the private sector, and what have you. This is one of the, like I said, most powerful ministry. And so I don't think most Liberian people even care about the labor ministry because they don't feel the impact of the labor ministry. They don't even understand the role of the labor ministry. And so we say to President Joseph Yuma Boakai, this is an issue that we ask. We are appealing to you, including Councillor Kopokura, who now serves as the labor minister. You live there. We're not saying things because we're against anybody. These are facts. Number one, part of this ministry job is to promote and arrange for the provision of labor welfare, to prevent and resolve conflicts, labor dispute, and industrial unrest, to develop the information system on labor protection and welfare of the people of Liberia, to formulate and coordinate the department action plan to be in line with the ministry policy and strategy. The question here is, what are the policies of the labor ministry? People in Liberia are treated by their employers like slaves, what I call modern day slavery in Liberia. Companies are coming to our country, exploiting the resources. Where these companies are established, they do not provide jobs, they do not provide the necessary benefits. We have the Ministry of Labor that has all the policy. And what is it that these things have not been done? So where, if we can make Liberia better for ourselves, where are people supposed to go? They're supposed to leave from Liberia and go to Ghana to go find a job. They're supposed to leave Liberia and go Guinea to go find a job. And where they sit in there and people who come over there take advantage of them, abuse them, the disrespect of our people. And so what is the labor ministry there for? And this is what the late John Louis said. This is what he urging us to do. It is okay to get in good trouble. And that is what I say throughout the show. Liberians sometimes we just misuse our energy. And that is why people are suffering. Because we can't sit there and allow few people to just hijack the whole country and only them enjoying. And this is a cause what the late John Lewis called good trouble. That people should get in the street and demonstrate and demand fair labor practice. And I think a lot of people around the world will be willing to get on board with us. This labor ministry, we're going to put it under the microscope. Because when companies or businesses come to Liberia, they have to follow the policy. If they're not doing so, then the labor ministry, which is responsible to make sure that employees are treated with respect and dignity. But this is one of the ministries that's just flying under the radar and people are saying nothing. And I believe if we make a transformation, if LIBERIA will change, then my people, the labor ministry needs to exert herself. She needs to make sure the laws that are on the book are followed. But you know the reason why it's not happening? Because people who occupy this position, they take little or nothing to suppress us. And this is one of the biggest problems. This is why you see people just, people don't even know their values because the labor ministry there should be able to educate people on their rights. And I am very sick and tired to see our people be abused. And this is what Johnny Lewis referred to as good trouble. It's okay. Thank you, Frank. Dr. Samuel Bingo, thank you. I really appreciate you. We have to be proactive, according to Dr. Samuel Bingo. But we see that the laws are there. Nothing has been done. And all we sit down and we think that things going to change. This is why Johnny Lewis talk about getting in good trouble. Nothing wrong to demonstrate. But we'd rather get in the street for foolishness. We'd rather get in the street for foolishness. And what we're supposed to concentrate and make sure we achieve or throw lights until they're affecting us, we forget about it. I said it, I was going to say it, that if LIBERIA will move forward, this is what Johnny Lewis is saying. This is what Johnny Lewis is saying. This is the man who wrote this letter. You must also study and learn the lesson of history because humanity has been involved in this soul-wrenching external struggle for a very long time. And that is what has been happening in our country. Liberians, we have to rise up. Let get in good trouble. Let's use our energy wisely. We can't get caught in between people trying to pull all here and there. We must pay attention to what is going on. And we call upon whosoever in the legislature that have oversight over the labor ministry, that committee, we need to hold their feet to the fire because we want to see that this policy, 1981, with a statutory mandate to make sure that employees in LIBERIA are treated fairly. But here we are today, people abuse people in LIBERIA for little or nothing. People working for people as if to say people are slaves. Because when you take a complaint to the labor ministry, you're not going to get any result. You must suffer double time. You will lose your job, and you might never ever even get a job. So people just afraid. I say to you today, if LIBERIA will get better, we cannot sit by and allow our people to be treated like a slave. We are talking about the 21st century. And that is why we say the show was created for. To educate, to throw light on issue that is affecting our country. Let historian pick up the pen and write and say something meaningful about you. Because if we not rise up, look, let me tell you about Johnny Lewis, the man was 15 years old, the Emma Petty Bridge. call it Brother Sonny. They knew what was waiting for them across that bridge. They knew that they were tired with the segregation they had were treated in America. Dr. Martin Luther King, they knew that taking on this fight was going to lead to so many things, including his very self losing his life. And because of that determination, because of that spirit of wanting change, the commitment for liberation, today our SUBOR Freeman can sit here and have a podcast, a talk show on Facebook. These were now extraordinary people that later on history made them extraordinary because based upon their contribution to society. Johnny Lewis was nobody. You are just 50 years old, struggling with what I call identity, confused about what unfolding in America at the time. And when I read this, it even gave me the desire, even inspired me more to talk. Because he said on a brand new radio, he said on television, he said on an old radio, when he listened and heard the voice, Martin Luther King talking and speaking, it caught his attention. And today, Johnny Lewis, history, even when the man was alive, CNN every time that time reaches, everywhere when they talk about Black history, Johnny Lewis, you can see as a young 15, 16 years old. They were now 50s. They were now in their 60s. Martin Luther King, Andrew Young, Jesse Jackson, you name it. Young people in the 13, 14, 15, 16. Rosa Parks. But they understood the challenge. They understood what they needed to do to prepare what we call today freedom for us, for the children, the grandchildren, the children get unborn. You put on the line. Yeah, Johnny Lewis is writing this thing right before he died. He said, though I may not be here with you, I urge you to answer the highest calling of your heart and stand up for what you truly believe. Liberians, we have to stand up because the labor practices in Liberia is bad. We can't have Lebanese people treating our people like slaves. These people come from Lebanon, they come from India, they come from China, they broke, they got nothing. They use our own money to enslave our people. This has to change. And so I'm urging us, starting tonight, starting today, wherever you find yourself, we have to organize or march. But before we do that, I will urge us, let's go through the democratic process. We have to meet our lawmakers first. And that this issue, Joseph Boakai, he have to put this issue number one on your to-do list. Our people must be treated with respect. They must get the desired pay that they deserve. And I mean, there is no win-win for employees in Liberia. You don't get paid on time. They do not respect you. They treat you like trash. Come on, man. Come on. And the only way these people will respect us if we start to rise up and advocate for ourselves. And this is where the late Johnny Lewis is referring to. Let us get in good trouble. Not wrong getting in good trouble. I mean, that's good trouble. But nobody will do it for us. Nobody will do it for us. And I think we are getting to a place in this country that in Liberia that, again, what I call the bad people. Few people just sit on people's heads. Everybody just look at them like it is okay. That is what you're afraid of. What you're afraid of. And again, especially our youth, people who couldn't go to the voting booth, who couldn't make the bad decisions. You think $20 US can sustain for 6 years? $20 US can sustain for 6 years. You have to start thinking outside of the box. You need to have your own little house. You got to be able to go out too and be able to buy your own liquor. You got to go with somebody to buy you liquor or buy you food. You don't have to be a beggar in your own country. Look at the big picture. You know, when I say this, I'm telling you sometimes I speak from experience. And I will tell you a story. I will tell you a story. What I noticed that where people just sit back and laugh, few people. I don't know where this behavior come from. You know, when I went to Liberia, I went to Tony twice. I was in the country in less than a week. I decided to go to my Oma village. And you know, I'm not one of those people that anybody who knows me and knows what I stand for. I'm not one of those guys that greedy and big on what we call property. This one for me, that one for me, and this and what have you. But what I do hate, I hate disadvantage. And this is what happened in the Liberia. I'm just using this story to just throw light because there's something that we'll discuss. I get to Liberia, I drive to Tony Vanis Goyah. As you can get the town, Goyah. My late grandfather town, Vanis Goyah. And I get to the town because, you know, again, I've been hearing a lot of yes, say concerning the land in Tony. That somebody who's supposed to be like a family, women or yata, how you call her. And I went and saw the place she sold to the people. So then I asked the people in the town. They said, oh, you can't do anything in the town without women approval. So the question I said, so forget about the little children. You people who know the history of the town. Where women own town here? Where women man or pa own or finance we town? But the point that I'm making, all those people said there, and they're not even like, she's not the first for her man or the second or the third. People who I spoke to someone, I was surprised. Some of the people I spoke to were telling me they're 70 years old or even 71 years old. I couldn't believe it. Oh, and so all of you said that. And they're one person. They're one person. And I told them, I said, well, that one up to y'all. Y'all know the story of the town. That's what happening to Liberia right now. That is what happening to Liberia right now. People sit down. I don't know, for whatever reason they're afraid or what, I just don't know. I can't put my hand on it. And one person. That's what happened to the whole country. And the person does not, she does not even live in the country. And the whole village sit down there. It just reminded me of what the late Bishop said. That one man during the war will come and put all the, you got men and women, people who hunt elephant, who kill. Just think about it. People who walk in the night. But they sit down there, one little boy will walk in that town. What are we doing? What are we doing, Liberians? And so I say to you today, if Liberia will get better, we must rise up. We should demand what belongs to us from our elected leaders. You yourself deserve to own a car, to own a house, to be able to come and put food on the table. That someday you and your girlfriend or your wife or your children can drive and go to Patawi or go to the place in Grand Cape County. Not just few elites. Country belongs to every one of us. We less than 5 million people. And I can tell you right now, the people who really making life in Liberia, all of that 5 million, I'm telling you, that number even reach to 10,000. Even reach to 10,000. People who really living and enjoying the country, they do not reach up to 10,000. What are we doing? Almost 95% of the country living abject poverty, suffering, can't get anything. Who's supposed to deliver us? We expect someone to come and do it, and all we say there, people, we allow ourselves or put a mere mockery out of us. Then we sit down there, we talk about Ghana, we talk about Thank you. I hope the leadership are listening. And I urge you, Dr. Samuel Bingo, I really appreciate your support. I hope people will really share this video. And I think I'm going to prioritize this. When people take leadership in our country, they're not doing us favor. They're supposed to serve us. That's why they got there, to serve us. Where is that? And I'm telling you, in Liberia right now, people, I'm not making it up. All of the 5 million or under the 5 million people, maybe got 10,000 people. If not less than 10,000, I'm being honest with you. I was there. I interacted with the top. There is no middle. The few people up here and the rest of the people down here. Everybody's scrambling. Everybody. I remember talking to the security where I was stopping, and he's telling me that our hope is on in America. And I told him, he said, no, first and foremost, you can't even put your hope in man. Say our hope is in God. And I told him, I said, look, if they couldn't get better, you don't depend on the people outside the country. You're one yet. You people have to take that step. Collectively, we all got to do it. Collectively, we all have to do it. Don't act like you're helpless. Johnny Lewis, they left Johnny Lewis, the Emma Petty Bridge. You can see the blue uniform, the police gear, the dogs standing right there. They were staring at it. They knew what was waiting for them across that bridge. But they march on. Because of them today, we are here. We can be able to do podcasts and talk show. And like I said, those people were now 80 years old, 50 years old. They wasn't famous, they wasn't rich. Ordinary people did extraordinary things. Why can't we do it? He talked about the generation. Look at our generation right now. Our generation is failing like bro at every level. What are we doing? Huh? What generally we talk about? Ordinary people with extraordinary vision can redeem the soul of America by getting in what I call good trouble, necessary trouble. Don't get in the street of demonstrate for foolishness to make somebody famous, for someone to benefit off of you, because this is what sometimes I get frustrated with, especially the student at the University of Liberia, but that's a whole nother topic. These are things that we need to concentrate on. The labor ministry is the more powerful ministry in the whole country, but it's the least effective. I don't think people know. I don't think people really understand the magnitude of the labor ministry, and so they don't even understand that all of the suffering that they are going through by employers is caused by the labor ministry. I don't think they really understand it. And that's why this show is about to educate people. They call it the role and duties of the Ministry of Labor. Following the government policy on bureaucratic reform, the administrative procedure. Bureaucratic reform. Revising the Administrative Procedure Act. And it went by again to tweak it in 1991. But today, we don't hear nothing about the labor ministry. They just mute. And in fact, go see the buildings that they're in. They are the more overlooked ministry because people don't understand. But they control everything that is happening to us in our country. The businesses come to the country. Look at the people in Grand Cape County. Look at Metal Steel. Look at you name it. How much are they paying the people? They left. You want to say, look, I'm going to do a whole research on the labor practices in Liberia, and we better want to know the laws on the books. Because when people come to the country, before they even sit down to negotiate and talk about bringing investment in the country, we first got to tell them right off the bat our expectation. But people will pocket the money, and that is why people act like the way they act. So if the labor ministry not going to function, then instead of all paying and put on salary, then the government will cancel it. So all the laying people off, and government cutting back on budget. I think that one of the ministry needs to concentrate on, because I believe they're eating out of free money and doing nothing. Just wanted to put out eating free money and doing absolutely nothing. This ministry is a disgrace. And so we hope Council of Copper and the rest of the leadership will do the right thing for the Liberian people. We want to see change in this direction. We want to see change in this direction. We want to see change in this direction. And we call upon President Joseph Yuma Bwaka and the entire administration to prioritize the labor practices that is ongoing in Liberia right now. We can't continue to do business the same. We deserve better. Our people deserve better. And Monday, we will be talking about this topic again, because I think what I saw in Liberia has to stop. There is no appetite for this type of behavior. People cannot be abused by employers. No. Even the hotels and things are over there. There are people that we stay to. I remember one of the girl, how you call it, housekeeper, was telling us, $100, $80, you said she was making $80, yes. And then when they take out the, what you call it, the union took out that union fee, and they better get paid on time. But what you got to do? They got a job, they just got to go there. Oh, what is this? What is this, my people? And when you leave from here, you go there, you pay off front. So the people getting the money. And so why they say that they can't pay the people? And this is the thing that we also want to rally around to make sure that these things don't happen to us anymore. But we sit there and then we channel our energy in the wrong direction. And so, once again, time fast spent. Monday, we will make sure we start on time because we'll have to review our newspaper to see what is unfolding. And so, we want to say thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in. As you all fully aware, Monday to Thursday, we are on the prayer line. The time is 5:58. And so by 6 o'clock, I have to be getting the prayer line because today is what we call, it's all prayers. People bring a prayer request and we ask God for divine intervention. And so wherever you find yourself tonight, we invite you to be part of the prayer service. Our telephone number is 763-220-3265. Once again, our telephone number is 763-220-3265. You can miss it. I'm telling you, come there, give God the glory because He is good. Without Him, there will be no SUBOR Freeman. And so every time we get, God bless over 24 hours within a day. The least we can do is take at least 1 hour and just dedicate to God. And so with that being said, we will be back here on Monday and we will be digging deep into the bad labor practices that is unfolding in our country. Once again, we want to say thanks to each and every one of you. Dr. Simon Bingo, we say thank you for your contribution. As always, we appreciate you. And to all our faithful listeners, we say thank you for your continued support, your encouragement, your prayers, and what have you. Once again, we say this is your boss, SUBOR Freeman, saying so long from the members of Goyah studio. You have a pleasant evening and stay blessed. Good night, everybody.